My back isn't good enough to daily drive something like this. The minute he starts messing with rotaries, we're gonna have a problem. This actually is kind of exciting.
She scoots.
She scoots. This is a unit right here, bud. All right, well, we've made it here to SEMA 2021.
This is my first SEMA, and I'm seeing a lot, but I'm really looking for all those EVs. They're out there, we're gonna go find them, and I'm excited.
Yeah, let's see what the rest of the country is doing with electric vehicles, because we know what we're doing.
Oh yeah.
But maybe we can pick up some ideas.
Yep.
See some cool ideas that somebody else came up with as well.
Some inspiration.
Cool, let's go check it out. All right, well, we couldn't get too far into the show without running into Ryan from Rywire's S2000. This is a 2007 or so S2000 that he's put together. You guys probably recognize Ryan from our EK build, where he was the one that actually made the badass wiring harness. So he's no stranger to wiring. Well, let's take a look at some of the details. I know you spent a lot of time on the interior, Ryan.
Yeah.
But one of the things that jumps out at me on the interior is the suede wrap. On the head beams, the dashboard. It's all like it's all done very like tightly, I guess is the best way to say it. Doesn't look like there's any foam underneath it like a typical dash would have.
Right.
Which lends to a really clean, smooth look. I love it.
It's all Alcantara with a red stitch, and everything is like shaved underneath it, you know? All the airbag stuff's all shaved and cleaned up.
I didn't even notice that.
So there's like a lot of body work going on the dash before they did any of the covering.
And that's probably what makes it look so clean and smooth.
Yeah.
My eye picked up on it, but I didn't know why. And then I see you have a, where the gear selector would have been manual, you have your electric switch, which is really cool configuration.
We just 3D printed that little thing.
Yeah.
I just kind of
sander and
put it where I wanted it.
We've created ours for our car. It's similar. What I do like about yours is a little cutout.
Oh yeah, the little dip.
Yeah, it's really nice. It looks like it belongs.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the car, which is super cool. That's one thing.
Painted it to sort of match, and it just flows. I mean, it works out.
All right, well, not too far away from Ryan's S2000, we have this awesome 1972 Satellite. And this is a car that we've actually seen online before getting here, so it's kind of cool to see it in person. It's called the Electrollite. Very cool electric conversion on what would be an old classic hot rod, which is pretty neat. And I recognize quite a few of the bits on here because it's very similar to our Z build, where he's actually reused the whole Tesla subframe, which is really cool. And the dead giveaway is the brake setup and the high offset wheels. So very, very cool conversion. Let's check out what Will's looking at up here.
First thing I spotted, this guy's got a 100 pack in here. Easy way to tell is the double coolant tabs right there.
Oh yeah.
So he's got a lot of power he can lay down on this thing.
Lots of horsepowers on tap.
Plenty of room in these old cars for such blocks.
He's got a massive amount of room up front, which is helpful where we don't have quite as much room, but we've been able to package it all.
Oh yeah. All right. Look at all this room he has, and he's able to display all of the power distribution stuff, all the fuses, all the contactors, all that stuff really well back there. He's got it all just nice and accessible to each other.
CAN bus, plug in. Cantilever suspension, I'm into that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like Mickey pointed out, this is your programming port. I think I saw 2 iPad screens behind the wheel, which means he's most likely using the T2C that we're going to be using. So
it's the same setup as what we have. So essentially he's using one to monitor the BMS and one to monitor drive select, I guess. Something like that.
Drive select, and if he is using the T2C, it's got your RPMs, it's got your charge and discharge, like all of your amperage usage, coolant temps, motor temps, and then the Orion 2, basically it's a web browser and you can monitor your BMS. And that's the best display you can do. Touch screen, high res,
and it looks super modern. So, all right, let's move on to the next. lack of an internal combustion engine over here, bud.
That's a pretty dang empty engine bay there, eh? All right, so we are making our way to another EV car that we know of, but while we were on our way, we ran into this pack of Cobras right here. And this one is EV. It's the one out of the bunch that is all electric. It's awesome. So what we have here is it's a Tesla drive unit in the back, just like us. They're actually running LG Chem battery pack in this. And I was talking to the guy, he's using a different BMS. It's dilithium. They're actually using the same T2C that we're gonna use. So I'm seeing a lot of similarities. I know that we're picking the best products for ours because these are high performance cars. And so we're gonna be using the same thing. We're gonna get the same kind of performance that we're seeing out of these. Really excited for more. Can't wait to get back to work on that Z. Oh man.
Race car style. So these are the guys that make the rolling chassis that is by the back door.
Yes.
So, but this is a Porsche drop-in kit, what it looks like.
You got a huge year range. This is like 66 to 88. This is gonna fit a lot of Porsches. Zero EV UK is somebody across the pond. These guys are looking to be the Zero EV of the US. They've got a drop-in kit for this Porsche. Rick loves Porsches, and I hope he saw this, and I hope he's excited.
This is neat.
Yes.
Like this is the turnkey component of these kits is really cool.
Yeah.
The fact that you just buy it and it shows up on a pallet and you just install it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they were kind of pointing, they have some of the stuff on display back there, but I don't know if it's lighting or what, but this looks super nice inside of this. It's very clean. It's got a lot of power coming out of it.
Being
too.
a race car, I think they kept it pretty minimalist, which is pretty neat to see because you can literally see everything. Not a whole lot of stuff hidden away, which is cool.
Look on the inside. Yeah, so they're using a lot of AEM stuff. They got the push button, gear selection, all kinds of auxiliary things to turn on and off. But just like you said, it's very minimal in here, very clean. They even said this drop-in kit is a 60/40, the same weight distribution as the gas-powered ones. Oh, and he's opening up the hood.
Yeah, check it out. All right, well, we're done looking at the Porsche. Huge shout out to Electric GT. They make some nice kits. But let's head out to the Toyota Tread Pass where there's a really special truck we want to show you guys.
All right, we're heading outside. This is that special truck I've been dying to see because it's an awesome build. So we're gonna head out to the Toyota Tread Pass, and just to the right, as soon as you get underneath this tunnel, is where it's at. It's where it should be because it's an awesome build and it should be showcased like this. Let's check it out.
All right, well, this is arguably one of the coolest cars here, I think, a truck.
That's what I was looking to see.
We heard about this thing leading up to the event, so here we are, C10 truck with 2 Tesla.
It's got twice of what we're putting in our Z in one truck. So first off the bat, I underestimated how wide this dang thing is. It's like 7 feet wide. I bet you I could lay down horizontally and still have room. It's awesome.
So much so that they had a hard time fitting it in their trailer to get it here. They had to put skinny little tires and wheels on it just to get it in the trailer. So that should give you guys an idea of how wide this thing actually is. So 8 feet isn't enough, apparently.
I think we got the fab guy next to us.
Oh, yeah. I never met you guys. I love you dudes.
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm
meet
Mickey.
you.
Nice to meet you,
Mickey. How's it going?
Likewise.
The
Yeah.
guy Andrew, the guy who's in charge of wiring, he's popping over too.
Just want to take a little tour and we'll fire away some questions.
Yeah,
What are you guys
absolutely.
proud of? Show us off.
The whole damn thing.
I think the cool thing to start showing from the ground up is we based this off the Tesla battery, and the chassis is actually physically built around the battery. So the cool thing about this is, God forbid anything ever happens to the battery, we can drop it right out.
Yeah.
So we, the stock C10 grill and all that stuff, but from here, we actually cut the whole firewall out. We were playing around with the idea of using it, and kind of what it was, and we're like, yeah, we'll just cut it. So we cut the whole thing out, made our imprints for the wheels when they come in, and then from there we bead rolled it, and then this is all square tubing. This is all using Corvette upper and lower control arms, and we tied into our main frame for the battery. What's really cool is we use a Tesla iBoost and we horizontally mount it because we had nowhere to put it.
Yeah.
So there's actually you'll see a little rocker down there. It transfers the brakes to the horizontal Tesla iBoost. There's a little push rod. And then from there, I just tied in like 1 5/8 tubes from the roll cage straight down, put up a bunch of lasers, figure out what ride height was, and we just designed these on QCAD and cut these all out and made everything tabbed up.
I like it. I mean, I think you guys have done a lot of work in 7 months for sure.
All right, so we took some time with these guys. We met with Andrew, who I feel like he and I could sit at a bar and drink over our wiring sorrows and really get to know each other. But they have 2 drive units in this thing. They've ripped around in this thing already. They're a little bit ahead of us, but what I personally like is that they were able to do the same Tesla subframe in the back of this truck. They had some more room. They actually had to push their tires out to meet with what they have as far as going with the body with this. They were able to use the actual Tesla pack. They didn't have to take it apart like we did. They kind of were able to take a simpler route, but it's just as effective, just as powerful. So it was really great talking with these guys. There's a lot of cues. They got Mishimoto, which is what we're also using. You know, we're using the top of the line like these guys use top of the line. So.
All right, well that's it on the Savage C10. We're gonna head back inside because there's a few more we want to show you.
All right, just inside, coming in from Toyo, is Legacy EV. They have about 3 vehicles that I wanted to check out. Let's go see those.
Isn't what you expect to see in the truck. 71 C10, and they literally put a frunk, like a supercar, in here.
Like that's normally where you see everybody throw their batteries if they're going to do anything like this.
Yeah, where they put them in the bed.
That's what I like about the truck platform. I don't know where they got these batteries. They could just be the bottom of the bed of the truck for all I know, without crawling underneath this. But this is what's awesome about EVs is you're not limited by any kind of emissions. As long as you have a big enough chassis, a big enough thing to support it, kind of sky's the limit. Whatever you want to do, it's awesome.
Yeah, packaging is always the hang-up pretty much, and how creative you can be with the space that you have.
Yeah.
So maybe some people can understand the challenges we have with our 350 as opposed to say a C10 truck like this one or the Savage to Salvage guys.
Yeah.
They chose a whole different route than this by just using the self-contained battery pack straight out of a Tesla, which is arguably probably the easiest way to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's just using it as it's meant to be.
Yep.
But these guys probably disassembled the back and have the batteries sort of...
I'm not even too sure this is Tesla. I mean...
Oh, okay.
I think it might be probably one of the more solid states like a Calb or LG Chem or something like that.
So cool.
I'll be right back. I'll go look.
I would love to give this one a try.
What you doing down there, Will?
Looking for batteries. They don't have the upskirt mirrors that some of these other places have, so I gotta get low. All right, so we are at Legacy EV. They have some pretty cool. They have a Bronco and they have a 71 C10 here, and they
classic Bronco.
Classic Bronco.
Not
sorry,
the Broncos that are everywhere.
This does not count in Ricky and Quinn's counting debacle that they had. They have a nice, I want to say baby blue with a nice interior and everything. It's a very classic Bronco. They've done a good job. They're actually helping people out getting into this industry too, which is really cool to see from somebody. And then they have this 71 C10, which these are growing on me. The more I see, you know, Salvage to Savage, I got that right, yeah. The more I see things like that and like this, I think a truck is probably what I want to do next. I don't know.
All right, yeah, I don't mind that either. That leads us to the obvious question. Would you guys like to see us do an OBS or a C10 electric project? I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Now that we've checked this out, there's a couple of other spots where we want to, there's a booth for SEMA Electrified we're gonna go check out. There's several cars there that I've already taken a peek at, so let me go show you those. Alright, so that's a pretty easy way to tell if this thing is electric. There's no dang engine. Look at that. It's just panels. That doesn't count though, that's not a conversion, so I'm not counting that. it is pretty cool to see the OEM is coming into the electrified, but it doesn't count.
What do you think about
This
it?
is really cool, actually.
Yeah.
But look at the power sources inside there too. Like they've got 110 volt outlets as well as USB outlet stuff underneath the front.
Pretty sure I could crawl in there and sleep. That's a big old cavity in there.
Very neat.
I could plug my phone in for my alarm. So we're gonna go to some actual, some conversions, but it is, like I said, really cool to see OEM vehicles like that. They're gonna start mass producing. That means more research and development for us to go ahead and utilize when those cars are crashed.
And more parts to steal.
Yeah.
To use and make hot rods.
All right, so we just made our way to SEMA Electrified. Look at that sign. It's big, it's orange, it's high voltage. So one thing you're gonna see, and something you guys have probably noticed so far, a lot of the conversions that you see are old chassis. There's a lot of room, they're appreciating. That's why people choose to do it, because people are gonna invest in these kinds of cars if they're converted, because it's an investment and it's gonna last. But I think it's time for JDM, since they're starting to appreciate, it's time to start doing some JDM conversions and more of them. So I'm gonna walk around and check these things out with Mickey. Let's go see what we can find.
As long as you don't sacrifice any rotaries, well, it'll be okay.
Too
The
late.
minute he starts messing with rotaries, we're gonna have a problem.
Mickey, is this your next daily driver?
It's got
I don't know.
reverse. It has a reverse gear.
My back isn't good enough to daily drive something like this. I have a hard enough time getting in and out of an FD.
I have somewhat of an insight on this because I did start to help with this one before I came down to throttle and all my time was eaten up. But so this thing has two ludicrous motors in it. Two of what we have, and they're stacked and they're married together by a carbon fiber belt. They used to have a Tesla pack, but that wasn't stiff enough. It actually sagged too low in its voltage, couldn't set the land speed record the way that they wanted to. So they changed battery types. This thing went 355 miles per hour on the salt flats. Set the international and the national speed records. This thing is badass.
And this was built in our backyard in San Diego, which is pretty cool. And this chassis has a massive history in land speed racing, right? This used to be an internal combustion
LS7
land speed car with an LS7. It's been these guys bought the chassis and basically converted it to electric. So this was designed in the 50s, I was told, if I remember correctly. Whew, pretty neat.
Yeah. This thing looks brand new on side.
What is
like
the
this
center
would
console
come out
stuff?
these days.
You peep those wheels, Mick?
Yeah, the wheels are sick. Some custom one-off HREs in a vintage style. It's pretty cool, man. The car is pretty sick, all in all. Carbon fiber hood on
It's nice and sparkly.
I don't even know what this is. What kind of car is it? Some type of old Buick. It's got a roll cage, a lot of carbon fiber, which is pretty cool. Definitely not something you would expect to see on a 50s Buick. 50s or 60s, I assume.
So much room for batteries in this thing.
I wish it were opened up so we could see what's going on with it.
Kind of leaves you wanting. I can't see anything about it. It's too low for me to get underneath the skirt, but the inside looks really nice. I just want to know what else it has in it.
I believe it has a Tesla battery pack underneath it, because you can see how they extended the bottom of the car. You see that? How it's long?
These guys might have done the same thing that Salvage did. Probably just sat this body right on top of it. Didn't have to open it up or anything. Which, if you got the frame for it, that's a good, smart way to do it.
Absolutely. All right, well this, I don't own a side-by-side or any recreational vehicle like this, but this actually is kind of exciting. I can see where the potential for using this would be really cool out in the desert or Looks like this guy actually does some grip racing with this thing, with the tire setup he has on here. So, really neat. The Teslaris. So it's a mix of a Tesla and a Polaris. Polaris. Look at that.
Model 3 motor.
Very tidy.
Yeah.
Very cool. The world's first Tesla-powered Polaris RZR RZR. 2018 Tesla Model 3 rear drive unit, Panasonic battery pack, and Elcon DC to DC inverter and charger. Where is all this stuff, Will?
Right here. Battery pack. It's going down.
Oh yeah, it drops all the way in there.
So this is, we haven't seen this in anything just yet. This is a Model 3 motor. So these run cooler and more efficiently than the big old large drive units. Very good for tight packages like this.
Yeah, I'd say.
That's what she said?
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Yeah. And then they even have little peepholes. You can kind of see some of the battery elements inside of here. This is a pretty cool little package. Pretty cool little design, I should say.
Will really likes the little packages. Certainly rips, probably, judging by the tire selection.
I would, there's nothing driving the front wheels. I'd imagine this thing does some wheelies pretty easily, considering the torque just to the back.
A small 12-volt battery down there in the front.
So all the way to the batteries and the motor is on that back axle. This front end is light as heck.
Yeah, so it probably, she scoots, I bet.
Yeah.
She scoots.
She scoots. This is a unit right here, bud.
All right, so we are in the South Hall, and this isn't an actual car, but this is a really good platform builder. This is a RS chassis with what's called a Revolt motor. What it is it's a machined-down Tesla large drive unit. They've taken the 10-to-1 step down and they put a 2-to-1 on it, and it uses the drive shaft to a rear differential. This is a really, really easy way to swap out something like an LS and something like, say, a 65 Mustang, which is exactly what this guy has done with this platform already. He's already peeled rubber with it. You guys should check out Revolt Systems on Instagram. But let's go take a look at this very beautiful motor that this guy has. All right, one final detail. This thing is also really impressive because tacked onto the back of that motor is a 2-to-1 step down. That takes your torque from 450 to 900. This thing is gonna shred tires. Those things barely have anything left on them.
All right, well, that's gonna be a wrap on our electric hunt?
Yeah.
Electric car hunt? Yeah. Vehicle hunt?
Couldn't we hear them? We really had to search for some of these. They were sprawled about.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed the cars that we did find, and you know, my two favorites are sitting right here behind us. Ryan's S2000 and the Satellite that was directly behind it. Those were very well executed, hot rod style builds in my opinion. Those are two cars that I would love to drive someday, and I think our 350 EV is gonna be on that level, so I'm excited. What about you?
I agree. The cleanest install that I saw today was definitely Rywire's. He took a lot of design and just throughout the car had the same theme going. It was just really well done. As far as, you know, bulk output power, that C10 probably takes the book. But you know,
Yeah.
sorry, I had a favorite from the beginning.
Pretty sick hot rod for sure.
Let us know what you guys think. You know, we took you to each one of the ones that we saw. Let us know what your favorite was in the comments.
And maybe an idea of what you think we should do in the future, because this isn't going to be our only EV build. So speak up. Let us know what you'd like to see us build. That's a wrap on this video. Hit that subscribe button. Leave us some comments down below. We'll see you guys back in San Diego.